Hopes of a pan-European regulatory approach to online gambling have dimmed. Instead, what has emerged is a network of cooperative agreements between individual regulators. But fears are growing that Europe may remain divided between the countries which wish to restrict access to the market and those who believe the best form of regulation is to tempt as many operators as possible within the legal framework. At the busy ICE conference in London, we spoke to regulators about the European Regulatory Platform, a Belgian-led initiative to give Europe's gambling regulators a voice, but which some fear will divide rather than unite.
But we saw that there was a problem in the European debate. There were too many lobbying companies that were influencing the debate, but the voice of regulators, of regulatory experts, was not heard, and we want to change that. We want that the regulatory approach will be entered in the debate, and I think it's very important that regulators are more heard across Europe, not only for the European Commission, also for the industry, and last but not least, and it's a very hot item, also for sports federations. I think a solution is if they want to find real solutions for the problem, if there is a problem of sports integrity, they had to involve the regulatory approach in the debate. We have no taboos about online regulation, and we are not against regulators as such. The only thing that we are asking is if you are interested in joining ERP, that you are showing a respect for the legislation in other countries, and that you are aware that you need a European solution. Because if you are convinced that a national solution will solve all the problems, then you don't need a European organization. So these two things are fundamental. For us, a serious regulator is having a respect for the legislation in another country, because if there is no European framework at the moment, so you have to respect the situation in other countries. So you don't have to impose your own rules in your country to another country. So you cannot do that. If you're not willing to accept that member states are trying to do their best at their level at this moment, then you cannot enter that. So if your politics is part of the problem, if your licenses are part of the problem, then you cannot enter in the ERP.
Well, you can look at it in different ways. And I think it's of great importance that you don't say sort of, well, if I'm not in, I'm out, and then I'll find my own way. I think it's really important still to go for cooperation anyhow, and to be quite aware that we don't separate the European Union, the GREF, all the different corporations that we see, that we don't join one club and not another, that we don't tend to leave each other out. We should always be aware that it's of great importance to invite each other in. So again, it's all about being inclusive and not exclusive. So to my best opinion, really, forming a platform, well, it could be a positive sign of great many operators regulators wanting to do their very best to harmonize, as long as we remember that we are different. So it should be possible for as many regulators as possible to join that in order to make the best effort towards the illegal market. I think it would be a great help to all of us, including the operators, to have as much harmonization as possible when it comes to standards. And then stop worrying that much about not having the same legislation as such. Because in daily life, really, it's all about making still the access to offering legal games as attractive as possible for the operators. And we can do that even though we have different legislation, to my best opinion.